him is nothing but an old memory for the few people who still remembered him. Or was he? This is when things get really, really bizarre. I'm still in disbelief that any of this even happened, honestly. On August 14th, 2020, an account called Socialism with Anti-Furry Characteristics was created on YouTube. Nothing at all happened in 2021, and it wouldn't become active in any meaningful way until 2022 when it started commenting on my re-uploads of the Best Channel and Abcilikepie's videos, and subscribed to all 3 of my channels. I was very surprised that someone else still remembered Abcilikepie, but I didn't really think much of it. I just assumed that it was someone else who grew up with the 2016 YouTube troll channel sector and was still nostalgic for it 6 years later. I mean, the dude is anti-furry in his username, so it's not surprising that him and Abcilikepie would have crossed paths at some point. After these initial interactions with me, he wouldn't start posting videos until early 2024 when he started going after the leftist bread tuber and bestiality advocate Vosh, as well as the furry YouTuber Rags. He definitely went after way bigger names in the furry community than Abcilikepie did, but I still had no reason to believe he had anything to do with Abcilikepie aside from being a rare fan. He also started making community posts where he attacked capitalism and furries. Pretty similarly to Bobby McBree and especially extreme Roblox do, but that's about the extent of it. The furry porn is white people porn post kinda got me though, that's pretty funny. Things would get more interesting as soon as 2025 began, as this guy would make a Twitter account and randomly start following me out of the blue. His Twitter account was mostly nothing special. He acted like your typical ROTC kid online, and he went after random furries along with other big names linked to the furry fandom like Hassan Piker and Nick Fuentes. He also doubles down on attributing furryism to Nazism or fascism, just like Bobby McBree. But aside from that funny coincidence with Bobby and some other miscellaneous things, nothing about his profile seemed particularly special to me. His pinned tweet, however, stuck out to me like a diamond in the rough because not only did he have Abcilikepie in this collage, but he also had some of Abcilikepie's more obscure profile pictures that only a super fan like me would know about. This definitely made me way more interested in him, but not to any super major degree. Those images are rarely available on the Wayback Machine anyway, so it's not like no one else can access them. On January 30th, 2025, he posted this. Definitely a way bigger fan than I thought, but still nothing that really raised any major flags for me. Things would quickly escalate as on February 14th, 2025, he posted an image on YouTube seemingly revealing the origin of the Flibberty Doodah face as being a distorted image of Jimmy Neutron, and he even sent it to me on Twitter. The face isn't a one-to-one match since the left eye looks a bit off, but it definitely looks more like the Flibberty Doodah face than anything else I've ever seen in my life. Plus, on Abcilikepie's other Kim Jong-un post, he even references Jimmy Neutron. If true, this is huge, and answers a question that has been left a mystery for almost a decade. But again, I didn't assume this guy was linked to Abcilikepie in any meaningful way. He seemed like a pretty huge fan, definitely on par with me, and it was really weird if he just showed up out of nowhere. Well, I had given up hope for an Abcilikepie return a long time ago. I just assumed this whole Comrade Pie post was a simple theory. A Flibberty Doodah theory. On February 16th, however, he uploaded a video that would change the course of history forever. I completely forgot about him, and I just happened to look at his YouTube channel one day when I saw that he uploaded this about 10 days ago. This immediately activated my neurons, as I recognized it as the PewDiePie face from the shoving peanut butter up PewDiePie's nose video from way back in the day. I felt like I was looking at a ghost. This video hadn't been online in over 6 years, and here it was. It had to be a coincidence. There had to be some kind of explanation, because the only person who could have access to such a thing would be Abcilikepie himself. I immediately clicked on the video, and as I was skimming through it, I saw footage from Agario. I'm not lying when I say my body was genuinely shaking at this point. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I finally played the audio, and
we found one. A real one.
One hot topic. What's that? It's okay. We're here for a second.
If you remember those brain rot meme compilations I was talking about before that had ABCLikePie's videos, it was foreshadowing this. Nothing I say could ever do justice to the absolutely grueling and blackpilling waiting period that took place between ABCLikePie deleting his channel and the Anti-Furry Socialist re-uploading all this lost footage. Like, you just had to be there to understand why this moment is so impactful. I genuinely can't name another moment that's given me more hope for the future than this. The last time I felt this happy on the internet was when Death Battle did their third Goku vs. Superman episode, and not even that quite holds a candle to this. If ABCLikePie can come back, then anything is possible. The moral of the story here is that no matter how crazy or unrealistic your dreams might initially seem, you should never give up on them, and you should never lose faith that they'll happen eventually. But getting back into the actual events, I think I gotta address the elephant in the room right now. How the fuck does this random guy have ABCLikePie's videos that haven't been seen online for over half a decade? Obviously, he's not just some random guy. There's no way a random jabroni who came into existence in 2020 has access to all this and understands ABCLikePie's culture this well. At the very least, he's a close friend of the original creator, but I'm 100% certain that this guy is none other than the real ABCLikePie. Which if he is, then that means there's a chance that he doesn't actually hate furries, and he's also just chilling with this anti-furry account. However, opinions can always change over time. I guess it's also possible that he isn't actually a Lenin-era socialist either, but either way, his goal seems to be trolling furries, rage-baiting idiots, and memeing, rather than any political spurging, so I don't want to get into that can of worms. I'll get into my other evidence about him being the creator of ABCLikePie later on, but for now, let's take a deep dive into the video itself because there are a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of new footage of ABCLikePie as well as a little bit from Bobby McBree. This is definitely a video for the fans. One thing that's going to be a problem with my analysis, however, is that while I grew up with ABCLikePie and I watched all of his videos, I barely engaged with Bobby McBree, and I genuinely cannot remember a single one of his videos that doesn't have his imagery plastered all over it blatantly. I don't know how many videos he's even made, to be completely honest. It could be as little as those 3 videos that I mentioned in the video, like, you know, in part 2, or it could have been like an entire catalog of like 30 videos, like ABCLikePie. So when it comes to differentiating whether a video was original and made for the Socialist channel, or if it was a re-upload of Bobby McBree, I'm gonna be pretty useless, honestly. I'll still try my best, so let's talk about it. The video starts with an intro that I have no clue if it was original or not, so I'm just gonna play it. It's an obvious homage to Abcilikepie's all-seeing eye copy pasta, that much is clear, but if you pay attention, you can also see the Trump picking his nose image from the Wackadoodle Dandy account hidden in the foreground. So maybe this was a video that came out on the Bobby McBree channel, but I kinda doubt it personally. If it is original, then it is a truly amazing tribute to the Abcilikepie mythos. After the next couple minutes, we get our first look at the Agar review in over 6 years. I never thought we'd get to this point in a million years. It's not just that we got to see a snippet of the video again, it's bigger than that. It's the fact that it confirms the Abcilikepie archives are still alive and well after all these years. I always assumed that Mr. X just deleted all of the files because why would he hold on to it? I always assumed that he hated all this stuff. Not only was I never expecting him to have such a major change of heart on his old content, but I was never expecting him to have still kept like all the raw files for everything. This means that the chances that the Abcilikepie archives could actually be released went from a 0 to a complete 50-50. I still have no idea if he'll ever be gracious enough to release them, but the fact that there's actually a tangible chance now is astronomically huge. I went the past 6 years thinking that there were no copies of these videos in existence, so no matter what happens in the next year, we're still way beyond the black-pilled early 2020s, and it will likely never be that hopeless ever again. We're making genuine progress in the Abcilikepie archives being released. After that insane Agar review footage drop, we then see footage of what seems like a new Abcilikepie video, this time being based on the Phantom copy pasta. I have no clue what the origin of this video is exactly, but there's 3 possibilities. The first possibility and the most reasonable is that this footage was likely made fresh for this video in 2025. The second possibility is that this video was from Abcilikepie's initial 2013 channel that he had way before I ever discovered him. While the third and most exciting possibility in my opinion is that this video is going to be intended for a full revival of Abcilikepie in the future with brand new content. That might sound far-fetched, but once I get to the next chapter, you'll see that this is a genuine possibility. In the background, we also see the poster for Abcilikepie's Sploder review from 2013. I've had this image screenshotted for years, but I never posted it online, I don't think. And I don't believe it was available anywhere else, honestly. Hopefully the OG video gets released one day, though, because it is a banger. He flashes some more familiar images on screen amidst a bunch of brain rot memes, and then we see even more new footage. I don't want to spoil what happens with this one, so let's just move on, as immediately after we see footage of Yo Gabba Gabba Swag Dude's intro. This is huge, because not only does Mr. X still have all of his Abcilikepie videos saved, but he also has the Bobby McBree videos saved, and all of those could get released one day. I don't have any memory of watching these videos, and if I did, it was probably like once at most, so I'd love to finally experience them for the first time. But there's even more implications beyond just that. If Anti-Furry Socialist is the real Abcilikepie by my current logic, then not only means that he's Bobby McBree, but it also means that Abcilikepie and Yo Gabba Gabba Swag Dude were the same person this whole time. This definitely makes my past self look like an even bigger retard in retrospect for not at the very least investigating Bobby's channel when it was still up. We also see some footage of Raw McDonald and Sandy that will be very important for the next chapter. Afterwards, we see even more new Abcilikepie footage. The 3 possibilities I listed for the last bit of footage still stand, but this one seems to be some kind of copy pasta about Abcilikepie ruling the universe. That would go insanely hard if Abcilikepie returned to YouTube and told us that he owns our asses. Next we see some anti-furry art that I could imagine was made on the Wackadoodle Dandy account, and afterwards we get the elusive peanut butter up PewDiePie's nose video. Unlike the Agar review, which he only showed 30 seconds of, he plays the entirety of the PewDiePie video, which is huge. Regardless of what he chooses to do with his property in the future, he just dropped an entire Abcilikepie video in a salvageable state, and nothing can take that away. I never thought the list of archived Abcilikepie videos would ever go up, but it did. We get a really long string of propaganda memes and other brain rot until we got even more brand new footage. This video uses some of Bobby's art from his brief 2020 revival, so I can imagine it was probably made on the Bobby McBree channel back in the day, or was it? The audio at this point in the video is so busted that you can barely even decipher what is going on in this Frankenstein's abomination of a video, but you can faintly hear the entirety of Abcilikepie's Furries rant playing in the background, so that's another video to add to the list that we know for a fact is safe and fully archived behind the scenes. The video keeps spiraling until it eventually ends, however. The For the one Abcilikepie fan in existence, which is me, this was unreal. I'm not lying when I say this entire thing felt like a genuine, spiritual encounter, because I thought for sure this guy was either dead or in complete isolation from the internet. My first instinct when I watched this video was to go to the comment section and ask the socialist if he could release all the Abcilikepie videos he saved, and I got literally no response. This made me even more suspicious this wasn't just a lucky fan back in the day, and it was actually the real Abcilikepie, because why else would he be this cryptic about releasing everything? The only explanation that makes any sense is that he's the real Abcilikepie, and he's obviously got some grander plan for the archives that I don't understand, and he doesn't want me to see yet. Even though the dude is following me on Twitter, he'd ignore me every time I tried asking him about the Abcilikepie archives. I think this is all building up to something, personally. Things would slow down a lot after this, but not completely. The Socialist posted a crab dance meme about Skeptile being gone on March 17th, 2025, almost 12 years after their feud initially started. Pretty cathartic how Abcilikepie ended up outliving Skeptile in the end and making it to the year of our Lord 2025. Let's hope he can outlive DSP next, holy fuck. He also continued being quite active in his community posts and his Twitter profile, where he'd continue acting like your stereotypical ROTC kid who thinks the Soviet Union is the most radical thing ever, dude, and hates furries for their neo-fascist ideologies. His account is pretty amusing, and he makes some funny posts from time to time, but I wouldn't say it's laugh-out-loud hilarious like Abcilikepie was. But it is interesting to see Mr. X's progression from the early internet humor of Abcilikepie to the more contemporary humor of the Anti-Furry Socialist. It's hard to believe that they're the same person, because Abcilikepie felt straight out of mid to late 2000s YouTube poops, while the Socialist humor feels straight out of modern day Instagram reels. Not only can you see slight echoes of his personality and extreme Roblox dude back in the day, but you can also notice the gradual evolutions of how ideological Mr. X had become. He started off rarely mentioning politics or religion, made it one of the main themes of his channel while still keeping the Abcilikepie theming with Bobby McBree, and then with this account he mentions Abcilikepie or Bobby about as rarely as Abcilikepie even mentioned religion. Nothing particularly noteworthy would happen until October 23rd, 2025 at around 9 PM when he would release a sequel to the amazing video. I was so hyped when I saw this in my notifications that I was ready for some more premium Abcilikepie footage. The video starts very bizarre, to say the least. Off where the last one left off, and then transitions into showcasing the Jealous of My Awesomeness video that I talked about a while ago. This isn't the most exciting of Abcilikepie's videos by any means, but it's still really cool to see it return. He also shows the original ballerina snowman animation rather than my rough recreation, as the list of archived videos continues to grow and the chances that he was just a lucky fan this whole time continue to become even less likely. We also see what looks like a Bobby McBree rant on the DeviantArt group Emo Doggos in the background, along with art of where his furry gets his arm cut off. It looks like it was made by Bobby McBree himself. The video starts looping with the previous amazing video for a little bit, but eventually we see another Abcilikepie-esque video that I'll talk about later, along with what looks like a Bobby McBree version of the Jealous of My Awesomeness saga. You can see it cycled through Bobby's various accounts, from Goober O to Wackadoodle Dandy to even a Yo Gabba Gabba Swag Dude DeviantArt account that doesn't have any evidence for existing. You can also see what looks like Yo Gabba Gabba Swag Dude being active on Google+, which is wild since Google Plus has been down for about as long as the Abcilikepie archives have been down. In the background you can also faintly hear the snack song from another early 2016 troll channel, Pac-Man 80.
I think I should have some snacks. Oh, that is a lot of snacks. What should I do now? Guess I'll put all the stacks back.
Anything sweet, my shit's too. Happy worse in the lunch, leave
important for later, so let's just move on before I spoil anything. You can also very faintly hear a Bobby McBree text-to-speech rant underneath the ear rape, skibbity toilet, and communist music. It seems like it's a rant about quote-unquote creationist mythology, as Bobby calls it. Eventually another Bobby McBree rant video starts playing in the background, this time being the Anti-Fur video that I mentioned previously. The video keeps looping, but eventually Bobby's PewDiePie image flashes on screen, and so is ABC I Like Pie's PewDiePie rant that I archived all those years ago. Overall, there isn't as much salvageable ABC I Like Pie footage as the first video, but we get a much bigger emphasis on Bobby McBree's lost media to make up for it. Very solid video. Thanks for keeping ABC I Like Pie's name alive, Mr. Socialist. The next major event that happened was on November 19th, 2025, when something very unexpected but very awesome happened. You remember Extreme Roblox Dude? That guy who showed up when ABC I Like Pie did, started praising him out of the blue, left as soon as he came and didn't elaborate? Well, he revived his channel after over 9 years of inactivity to comment on my video about the announcement for LEGO Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. This felt like Christmas. We got the announcement for the next LEGO game by TT Games, and then said announcement somehow resurrected Extreme Roblox Dude against all odds. You can't make this stuff up. Also, the fact that Extreme Roblox Dude came back on the same year that Mr. X started leaking his old footage basically confirms that they're either the same person, or at the very least Extreme Roblox Dude was coordinated by one of Mr. X's close friends who wanted in on the fun. Maybe this account is run by his brother Skeptile. I'm shocked that he even remembered the password to that account, honestly. I guess there's a chance that he was a super fan of ABC I Like Pie similar to me, who decided to revive his troll channel as soon as ABC I Like Pie started having a resurgence. But I find that very unlikely since the Socialist account never really interacted with him like he did for me, and the chances of him randomly finding it are extremely rare. Also, the fact that both him and the Socialist made their online debut by commenting on my videos makes me think that Extreme Roblox Dude is definitely linked to Mr. X in real life one way or another. Back in the day, I always assumed that Extreme Roblox Dude was just a random guy who wanted to copy ABC I Like Pie's trolling shtick, so when I got this comment in my notifications, it kinda blew my mind. Also, I'm humbled that he chose my video as the place for him to make his grand return with this account. Hopefully we get that ABC I Like Pie rant on Legacy of the Dark Knight one day. Unsurprisingly, he also showed up in the Socialist comments around the same time. Suspicious. I then decided to upload a Roblox related video to my channel to see if he would respond, since that's what he asked for, and he did on the very next day. Mr. X definitely seems interested in me, and this moment definitely hinted at more than just a simple one and done re-upload of ABC I Like Pie's videos. Mr. X seems like he's planning something big. He wants to make this an event, and he wants to recapture the old days of ABC I Like Pie battling people online with his troll allies. We'd have another month of radio silence as the Anti-Furry Socialist continued his LARP while refusing to acknowledge any of what's happened in relation to ABC I Like Pie. But then on December 12th, 2025, something happened that proved my previous theory right about him wanting to build up to something huge. Because all these months of radio silence after the amazing video were building up to something truly amazing. One day in late January of this year, I happened to look at the Socialist follower list when I saw an account called MilkySwelky. Not only did it talk in the exact same way as ABC I Like Pie, but it also had the smiley face from the Sploder review as its profile picture. This immediately raised a lot of red flags, so I knew that something crazy was happening. The profile was made all the way back on December 12th, 2025, a whole month and a half before I actually found it. 2025 went out with an absolute bang, and I didn't even realize, as we would end up getting our first full-fledged ABC I Like Pie account since 2018. These 7 long years of waiting finally ended up having a payoff, and I could not believe it. I took a look at the account bio, and it definitely sounded very much like ABC I Like Pie, and especially Bobby McBree. Of course, he says he likes pie. He says no bad words, even though Bobby cursed all the time. Also, I found it pretty suspicious how ABC I Like Pie never mentioned anime at all when he was active. But then when the anti-furry, anti-weeb socialist showed up, he suddenly has no anime as one of his chat rules. MilkySwelky's activity on Twitter mostly consisted of him going after random furries, posting strange artwork, and interacting with cat videos, but none of that holds a candle to what else I found in his profile. He's got a YouTube channel that already has 3 videos on it, and they're all absolute bangers. A day after he made his Twitter profile, MilkySwelky made a YouTube channel where he finally started posting videos another day later on December 14th, 2025. His first video immediately gave away that he's ABC I Like Pies. It was called
Really?
The video itself is one of the loudest things I've ever heard in my life, so I'm going to lower the volume way down when I play it. Here's ABC I Like Pie's first video in over 7 years. And the video goes on like that for an extra minute. Not only is it playing a pitch-shifted version of that snack song I mentioned from the amazing video part 2, but the background is Wackadoodle Dandy's current banner on DeviantArt. A lot of references to stuff from the sector back in the day, but it doesn't even remotely hold a candle to the other video that MilkySwelky released on the 14th, and that's
Scary Space Adventure. Oh yeah. 11 odds.
This video and the next one that would come out are by far the most damning evidence that MilkySwelky and by extension Anti-Furry Socialist are the real ABC I Like Pie. Some random person downloading ABC I Like Pie's videos back in the day is not technically impossible, even though it's extremely unlikely. But that same random person having the raw files of ABC I Like Pie's models from back in the day is literally impossible. The video itself is about 3 minutes of MilkySwelky rotating that weird planet model that he posted on his DeviantArt all the way back in 2014 with bootleg, copyright-free Star Wars music playing in the background. The fact that he still kept the raw file for the model after like 11 or 12 years is insane. And in case you're wondering, he never released this model publicly to download on 3D Warehouse. So the only way that he could have access to this is if he's the real ABC I Like Pie. I guess someone could have remade it, but literally every detail is the exact same as the original, from the texture flickering on the face to that weird silhouette on the lowest platform. And no, I don't think the video was made with AI, in case you were wondering. There's no way. But yeah, speaking of that, it is really neat seeing a full showcase of this model after so many years, especially seeing what that weird silhouette actually looks like up close. He went a really long time without posting a video after this, but 24 days later, on January 7th, 2026, he posted another 3D animation that confirmed he is the real ABC I Like Pie, and he still got the raw files for everything he made back in the day. This one was a callback to the Ballerina Snowman video, and it was titled
Ballerina Snowman Concert Token 346 in MilkySwelky.
It uses the exact same Ballerina Snowman model that was in the old video from 2016. It's definitely not a fan-made recreation or AI, it's the real deal. You also see a bunch of Bobby McBree's drawings in the background. The video itself is a whopping 7.5 minutes long, and it's just MilkySwelky rotating the model while the snowmen spin, and a bunch of classical music plays in the background. One pretty neat detail is that the music leaves off roughly where the 2016 video left off in the Blue to Noob song. video goes on for a really long time before it ends with 2.5 minutes of a black screen. MilkySwelky even said this video was a premiere, and he was crashing out in the chat about how he only had one viewer and how he accidentally left in a black screen. You should have sent the video to me, bro. I would have promoted the shit out of it. MilkySwelky then went exactly 24 more days later without posting a video, until I finally discovered him on the night of January 30th, 2026. As soon as Mr. X saw that I finally discovered his secret account, he immediately started changing his Twitter profile picture a bunch of times. First to a stock image of a pie, then to a stop sign, and then he finally settled on Chef Boyardee as his profile picture on Twitter and YouTube. On the night of January 31st, 2026, he finally broke his hiatus and posted a video that was an obvious callback to his very first bloater game from 2013, and one of his favorite catchphrases in general. The video itself was just 4 seconds of a white screen that said test. I have no idea what the point of this video was, but I do find it very suspicious how he finally revived the MilkySwelky channel when I started interacting with it. It's almost like he wanted to see how long the account would go without me finding it. He posted just enough videos to give the account something to talk about, and then as soon as I found it, he became regularly active. The way Mr. X has been responding to me through all of this is definitely the most confusing part of the whole thing for me, as if everything else wasn't already weird enough. His motives are very unclear, and it's very hard to predict how he'll respond to what I do. But if it wasn't, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting, to be fair. I mean, yeah. Either way, it definitely seemed like he was testing me in some way through all this, but I'll elaborate more once we get to the climax of this part. February was the most active month for MilkySwelky by a landslide. It took a bit to really get going, but when it did, it was incredible. On February 2nd, he actually announced that he was going to take a break with a short and blunt
Goodbye news.
The Socialist account even replied to it and seemingly reinforced that MilkySwelky was either going to be taking a really long break from the internet, or he was being retired as a whole. He also posted one more YouTube video titled
Sing along to Talking Watermelons Worship
before he actually went on break. The video itself is nothing special, it's just 4.5 minutes of a still image of a bunch of watermelons with some country music in the background.
I went down south for to see my Sal, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. My Sal, she is a spunky gal, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day.
What makes this entry even more interesting, however, is that it actually shows up in the amazing video part 2. You can even faintly hear the Polly Wolly Doodle song in the background underneath the ear rape Skibbity Toilet Christmas Carol. Roll the footage. This means that at the very least this video was made 4 months in advance and he was playing this MilkySwelky channel for a while. A potentially even more exciting possibility, however, is that this video was on the Bobby McBree channel back in the day, and this was a re-upload. I have no idea if that's true, since I didn't really pay much attention to Bobby back in the day, but if it is, then that's huge. That means Mr. X is finally comfortable doing direct re-uploads of his old videos, and eventually we could get to the point where he's re-uploading stuff like a GAR review. The MilkySwelky account was locked down and given a break while Mr. X is still active on the Anti-Furry Socialist. I was worried that this was going to be the end for him, but he came back after only about 11 days. He came back with a post on February 13th announcing that his profile got mass reported and his Chef Boyardee picture got flagged for sexual content. Very bizarre. But he ended up changing it to the Quaker Oats mascot, and eventually he settled on this random picture of a painter guy from the Renaissance. 3 days later, on February 16th, Abcilikepie, Mr. X, whatever you want to call him, would post its most popular video by a country mile. If there's anything that anyone's going to recognize this guy for, it's this video right here. The video is just 2 minutes and 40 seconds of a still image of Thomas the Tank Engine in Abcilikepie's art style with the intro music playing in the background, For whatever reason, this video kind of blew up and it got over 1,000 views in only like a couple weeks. A milestone that none of Abcilikepie's videos ever reached back in the day. After how universally despised Abcilikepie's videos were, you'd expect the comment section to be pretty negative, but it's actually the complete opposite. The comments on this video are surprisingly very wholesome and very supportive. In fact, the video has over 100 likes and 0 dislikes. I think the response to this video was definitely a really interesting reflection of how much attitudes have changed since the cringe culture era of the 2016 YouTube. If this video came out back on the Abcilikepie channel, then people would have been like, "You are a bad user," or whatever garbage the Go Animate and Scumbob crowd would have said. 10 years later, in 2026, people finally stopped taking this stuff so seriously. They finally learned to just laugh and have fun with it. In fact, a lot of the comments point out how the videos feel straight out of the late 2000s YouTube, and how it'll be a meme in 10 years, possibly. I'm glad that people have finally started appreciating the simplicity of Abcilikepie, and they've finally grown out of their 2016 angst. This response from MilkySwelky right here is a pretty obvious callback to Abcilikepie's OG Sploder days. He's not exactly trying to hide that he's the real guy. After this video was an unexpected blockbuster, MilkySwelky decided to make another one of these low-effort music videos 3 days later. On February 19th, he posted,
Sir Topham at 125 OK 1243 Oct 12K4 Oct 5123.
obviously wanting to cash in on the success of his previous Thomas video. This one is not only the same length as the Thomas video, like literally the exact same length, but it's also got the exact same intro music playing in the background. So it's pretty much the exact same as the first one, but with a different character from the franchise. Although this video got equally positive feedback to the first one, it didn't blow up to nearly the same extent, so MilkySwelky moved on and started posting different types of videos. I don't know if these two Thomas music videos were made in advance like the Watermelon one, or if they were released on the Bobby McBree channel, but MilkySwelky's next 3 videos definitely seemed like they were, possibly. Meanwhile, on X, MilkySwelky continued his same routine while the Anti-Furry Socialist just blindly agreed with everything he said. It is very suspicious how these two conveniently show up in the same place every time, and they always manage to find each other pretty much instantly. On February 23rd, however, MilkySwelky's videos started getting really weird. It almost seemed like the more I interacted with MilkySwelky, the more active he'd be and the weirder his videos would get. The first of these 3 videos was titled, and there's a lot for me to say about it, so I'm just going to play it and pause every time something important happens. Right off the bat, before the video even starts, you can see that he's directly naming Yo Gabba Gabba Swag Dude and using his old video footage. Similarly to the Socialist, MilkySwelky pushed any claims that he was Abcilikepie completely under the rug, so this is a pretty ballsy move if he's trying to hide his former identity. In the first 3 seconds, we can also see that he's not only playing Yo Gabba Gabba Swag Dude, aka Bobby McBree's old intro, but the editing is very similar to the Socialist's amazing videos series of how he overlays multiple assets onto each other. Only 10 seconds in, we can see 2 of the Socialist videos that he played in the previous amazing video edits. First, there's the Me Like Pie edit, and then there's the Ronald McDonald and Sandy footage that we saw before. The Socialist is making it very obvious that he's running this account. Also, I'm surprised that MilkySwelky likes Ronald McDonald and Sandy. Does he not know that it's secretly a Weeaboo Toho song? Seconds in, MilkySwelky, aka Bobby McBree, aka Charles Bunsville, starts flashing some of his art on screen as well. I'm just going to let the rest of the video play out without interruptions now, since I think you need to see it. The music especially gets really weird as the video goes on.
do, I do, ba do, ba do, ba do, ba do. I do, ba do, ba do, 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 I do, yeah. Do, ba 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 do, do, ba do, do, do. A boo ba doo ba doo, boo boo ba doo. A do ba doo ba doo, a do ba doo ba doo doo. Whatever happened to the boy that I want to? Boy who said he'd be true. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no.
Definitely one of the weirdest things that Abcilikepie has ever posted. It is pretty cool how we get a clean shot from Bobby McBree's intro, however. Shortly after, MilkySwelky posted an even weirder video called
The cat sat on a hat.
which is an obvious reference to one of his old Sploder games from 2013. The thumbnail is extremely weird and looks straight out of Bobby McBree's DeviantArt, so let's take a look.
435 by 930,534 cop 5K403Y45 Cal 3 or pop 34 cop code 45,346,345 Staff you don't do the use the black if you don't do the use the and half you throw pop no feeder pop use much the half you don't use the feed half no feeder do the half the black you do the hand half 5 by 930,534 cop 5K403Y45 Cal 3 or pop 34 cop code 45,346,345 Staff you don't do the use the black if you don't do the use the and half you throw pop no feeder pop use much. Ja, hippie. Today is Skippy Day. I just wait out were. Apple gop. Keyboards say we when they blow bubblegum. Sleeping invisible llama sleep furiously. Green red say hard it to be is a C-1%.
That scream at the end gets me every time. Abcilikepie is still just as funny and entertaining as he was 10 years ago. Now, in case you couldn't remember, this exact video showed up many times in the Socialist Amazing Video series. Not only could this mean that this video and by extension the MilkySwelky channel were planned a whole 10 months before they actually happened, but if this video was actually on the Bobby McBree channel back in the day, then it could mean that Mr. X is getting even more comfortable re-uploading his lost videos, and we're getting closer and closer to him re-uploading some real classics. Also, is it just me, or does Mr. X constantly spam the letters K-O-P, like cop, almost every time he's spamming? I've noticed that for a while researching all of his online activity. The next day, he posted yet another video that was prominent in the Amazing Video series with a title that's a very obvious reference to the old Sploder review from 2013.
Happy day.
Right off the bat, the art is directly taken from the Wackadoodle Dandy DeviantArt account, which very much hints to it being an old Bobby McBree video from 8 to 9 years ago. The video also has the exact same soundtrack as the Foob or New Goo video from MilkySwelky. Here it is in its entirety.
Do ba 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 do boo boo ba do. I do ba do ba do. I do ba do ba do do do. I do ba do ba do. I do ba do ba do ba do ba do. I do ba do ba do. I do ba do ba do ba do. I do ba do ba do. Do ba do ba do. I do 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 do. I do ba do ba do. I do ba do ba do ba do ba do. I do ba do ba do 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 ba do. Yeah.
Not only does yet another wackadoodle dandy piece flash on screen, but I compared to the amazing videos, and yes, it's the exact same video. Mr. X is definitely starting to drip feed all the videos that he was previously media squatting on, and the more he posted, the more this MilkySwelky channel started to feel like some kind of ARG that was building up to something insane, like a full ABC I Like Pie revival. As the biggest ABC I Like Pie fan in the Omniverse, I was having an absolute blast with this. All this felt like it was made for the fans, and by the fans I mean me. The moral of the story here is that you're never too old for the things you're into as a kid. I was obsessed with ABC I Like Pie 10 years ago, and I still find them hilarious to this day. This revival in particular really made me feel like a kid again, and it's generally the most fun I've had on the internet, like maybe ever. The same also applies to the guy behind this stuff. Mr. X was doing this ABC I Like Pie stuff like 10 to 13 years ago. He's probably like 25 for all we know, and that's not going to stop him from continuing to enjoy this stuff. Nobody is ever too old for the things they enjoy. Unless that thing is below the age of consent. But yeah, I mean, Mr. X, if you are watching this video, I just want to say thank you for all of this. Alright, you made February 2026 like one of the most fun months of my entire life. And I'm forever grateful for you. You are awesome. You were definitely eating good on the 23rd and 24th. Because on the exact same day, MilkySwelky would finally post his first intro. It definitely plays out quite similarly to ABC I Like Pie's intro, albeit with drastically different visuals, so let's take a look. Instead of a children's show intro, it uses the same kind of classical music that we heard in the Ballerina Snowman concert. That's a pretty direct callback to the awesome animation segment in ABC I Like Pie's intro. It even uses the exact same Ballerina Snowman model. Then he just flashes Goobero's profile picture on screen. He's getting less and less subtle with how he's hiding his identity. Then there's the exact same Illuminati image from the opening of the amazing video. Who the fuck is this? I tried searching Pony Princess 123 and nothing even remotely related to ABC I Like Pie came up. If this is a reference to something from the ABC I Like Pie mythos, it's too obscure even for me. This is definitely the real ABC I Like Pie behind this account. Let's see how many of these words Yo Gabba Gabba Swag Dude has said and thus broken the sacred rules. He said butthole. ABC I Like Pie himself said dick. Bobby not only said fuck abbreviated, but he's also said the word fag multiple times. And if you want to count it as the Y word, ABC I Like Pie has mentioned yif tons of times. Not very good at following your own rules, are you, bud? Oh no, guys. MilkySwelky just said the P word. He said porn. This is yet another image that the socialist flashed on screen, and here it is on Milky's channel. What are the odds? It's almost like they're the same person. Here we get some more of Milky's art, a lot of which was in that Fuber Nuku video. That's just straight up Abcilikepie in the flesh. Very good foreshadowing, I hope. Did he actually make this one in 2017? I have no clue, but in case you're wondering, SketchUp is the software that's used for 3D Warehouse and the software that Abcilikepie used to make the ballerina snowman and the Happy Planet. This is just straight up recycled footage from the background of Fuber Nuku. Next we get some of MilkySwelky's favorite users, and of course, the first one he mentions is himself. Oh boy, where are the odds that he and Extreme Roblox Dude conveniently found each other at the exact same time? It's almost like they're also the exact same person, or at the very least they know each other in real life and are best friends. Now that's an intro that rivals Abcilikepie's. MilkySwelky took a break from posting on YouTube for February 25th, but on Twitter he was crashing out over something very disturbing in the train community. Foxfield Railway in the United Kingdom had just made a new mascot who is not only a furry, but he was also designed by a not-safe-for-work artist in the furry community who makes fat fetish art called Fatty Dragonite. As the biggest train fan in the world, Abcilikepie was outraged by this. He began battling against the furries who were defending Fatty Dragonite by calling for porn to be banned worldwide and saying it is important to take into account the dude's past history before hiring him. Very extreme stuff from MilkySwelky calling for porn to just be illegal. But it's no different to the kind of shit that the Anti-Furry Socialist would call for, I guess. Several of the furries even blocked him, and MilkySwelky would brag about it, while quoting his old self by saying that they were jealous of his awesomeness. On February 26th, Mr. X would post his first text-to-speech rant in almost 8 years, titled,
Furries are ruining trains way.
This was in direct response to the controversy around Fatty Dragonite and Foxfield Railway. I'm not lying when I say that this is the funniest text-to-speech rant that Mr. X has ever done, and one of his all-time best videos in general. Unk still got it 10 years later. The video starts with the exact same intro we saw before, so let's just watch the rant itself. It opens with a face that the Anti-Furry Socialist account had posted way before, and I guess it's supposed to represent what MilkySwelky looks like in real life.
Hi guys, I'm MilkySwelky, and today is mad! Exclamation point, 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 the furries are ruining trains.
You hear that, guys? Furries are ruining trains. They just had to make trains political. They just couldn't accept the fact that we've won the culture wars. Now here at Train Brand Trains.
We like trains. But we don't like furries. We sad. We cry.
Now here he is just directly quoting the Sploder review.
Me sad. Me cry. He is a meanie.
The furries are enemies of meanies. They are ruining trains.
I can't, bro. This shit is too funny.
And the one responsible for this bad thing is the meanie icky furry known as Fatty Dragonite.
And there's Abcilikepie doing his classic vandalization. We haven't seen anything like this since the H4calate rant.
He makes gross pictures of animal characters that are implicitly overweight. That's not healthy. That's bad for health.
Yeah, guys, I'm sure Abcilikepie knows a lot about health from all the pies he eats. base take, honestly. People with fat fetishes really do not care at all about other people having good health and taking care of their bodies if it means they get to carry out their lustful fantasies.
But also he is a furry, and that is automatically a bad thing. Furry should get brain surgery.
There's a direct reference to the Zootopia rant.
If you like this movie, then you need to get brain surgery. If you hate it, then you get a gold star.
And be thrown in jail so they do not do bad things to animals that are inappropriate and unspeakable to even mention.
MilkySwelky coming out with the base takes left and right.
Wait, furries are batty.
Here's that weird batty thing he used to say.
They batty.
And also let's talk about the icky company that commercial in. It's called Foxfield Railway, and it's in the United Kingdom. The place where they eat disgusting things like moldy rat and baked beans.
This is how I know MilkySwelky is run by Charles Bunsville himself. Nobody other than him could come up with something like moldy rat and baked beans.
19. Mouse in baked beans. In December 2011, Sainsbury's, the popular UK grocery chain, was fined approximately $12,000 after one of its customers found a mouse inside a can of store-brand baked beans. Bean starch was found in the rodent's stomach during the investigation, and thus it was ultimately concluded that greed was its downfall.
Genuinely the funniest thing I've heard all year so far. He even made an entire Twitter post where he talked about how the United Kingdom eats moldy rat and baked beans, poo chocolate, PT, tooth sandwich, cat head roast, ramen noodles and horse broth mixed with ladybugs, and even peanut butter and Mr. Beast's ear.
Icky wicky poopy floppy.
Oh my god, Mr. X is on a roll. That's two of the new best ABC I Like Pie quotes of all time, like back to back. I told you Unk still got it. This shit is effortless for a seasoned master of trolling like him. Ever since this video came out, I've genuinely said moldy rat and baked beans and icky wicky poopy floppy every day without fail. In only about 2 months, those two phrases have become generational classics, and they are permanently absorbed into my vocabulary. Forget the ABC I Like Pie archives, I want more new videos. This shit is even more hilarious than it was back in the day.
Icky icky icky. We know like Foxfield Railway. More like Fox Furry, pedophile.
God damn, MilkySwelky. Bro is out for blood. He's already throwing out pedophile accusations left and right.
Zoophile, if zone. Foxfield Railway should be cancelled. Foxfield Railway should repent of their furry degeneracy and fatty dragonite needs to be destroyed.
MilkySwelky definitely has the same level of edginess as Bobby McBree.
And his icky stuff should be outlawed. That is the end of my rant. Thanks for watching and post nice comments. If you don't, you are wrong. Goodbye.
Wow, what a video. Everything about it is perfect, and it comes together to make one of the absolute best videos from ABC I Like Pie, even 10 years after he originally quit. The comedic timing is better than ever. There's a pitch-perfect balance of callbacks to old videos and brand new jokes. There were multiple moments in the video that genuinely had me dying of laughter, from the furries are ruining trains opening. That's bad for health. The entire moldy rat and baked beans running gag, and icky wicky poopy floppy. Mr. X, if you're watching this, I just want you to know that you're doing an 11 out of 10 job capturing the magic of ABC I Like Pie. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, and if we get more videos like this, I think 2026 is going to be the greatest year of all time, honestly. Now let's take a look at that description.
Fatty dragonite and Foxfield Railway are meanie weenies. One aquafactor cog me sad me cry. Tee moldy rat and baked beans in Unit Kingdom. Icky poo poo.
Very funny description as well, and I love how he continues making the moldy rat and baked beans thing a running gag. Like I said, nobody other than ABC I Like Pie himself could come up with something that stupid, but that funny and memorable at the same time. Icky poo poo. MilkySwelky is definitely not some random bum. He's the real deal. We seriously got ABC I Like Pie, Regular Show, Lego Batman, and the Avengers all returning in the same year. All we need is Half-Life 3 and Super Mario Galaxy 3, and 2026 is going to be impossible to top. I commented on the video like I did for every MilkySwelky video, and I finally got him to respond for the first time ever. Very suspicious how I got him to respond to this, but not any of the comments asking about ABC I Like Pie. After that generational masterpiece of a video, Mr. X would take a break from MilkySwelky to focus on reviving the extreme Roblox dude account. One thing I noticed is that when Mr. X was in his prime with the MilkySwelky account, he was a lot less active on the Socialist account. But when he took a break from MilkySwelky, he was more active on the Socialist account, and now the Extreme Roblox Dude account. Gee, it's almost like they're all the same person. Also, I felt like MilkySwelky was slightly more active on the weekdays than he was on the weekend. Now as for Extreme Roblox Dude, he finally made a new Roblox account on March 1st. I find it suspicious how this is almost in direct response to me posting that recreation of Abcilikepie's Roblox place on YouTube. It's almost like I inspired him to start Roblox again. Either way, it's very fascinating how a lot of what he did was in direct response to stuff that I did. I don't know what his OG account was called, and that's probably because he just played on the Flibberty Doodad Roblox account, since he's the same person as Abcilikepie. But now we have Roblox's Tebezd. He's following said Flibberty Doodad account. He's even part of a military account, or a military group, or whatever you want to call it, which increases his ties to the Anti-Furry Socialist even further. I sent him a friend request on Roblox, and he actually accepted it. This was huge, and it meant that I was even closer to getting insider information. On the night of March 1st, 2026, I did something that I never thought I'd do in a million years. I played Roblox with Abcilikepie, or at the very least whoever is behind Extreme Roblox Dude. He was playing a couple anti-furry games, of course, and me and my crew followed him around. He joined a Doom game where you kill furries, and I followed him around the entire time while my friend was hacking the game and flinging him across the map. I recorded the entire thing and I put it on YouTube with the title, Found Footage of Abcilikepie in Roblox. Next day, Extreme Roblox Dude not only started posting his own Roblox gameplay footage, making it the first time he's posted in almost 10 whole years, but he also found my video and immediately started getting super duper defensive about me accusing him of being Abcilikepie. This is the first time that any of the big three have responded to my accusations, and they responded about how I expected. I had called MilkySwelky, Abcilikepie, or Flibberty Doodad several times in the past year. This is when I really started pressing him hard about being Abcilikepie. Of course, he tried playing dumb, as Mrs. Bunsville would say, and he denied Abcilikepie even being active at all, or that he had access to Abcilikepie's videos either. This is when I transitioned from pressing him about being Abcilikepie to continuing to press MilkySwelky and the Anti-Furry Socialist about being Abcilikepie even harder than I had before. The very next day, those two did something very bold and very brash that pretty much confirmed that all three accounts are run by the same person. On March 3rd, 2026, MilkySwelky made a community post announcing that he was privating all of his videos for punishment, whatever that means. And then the Anti-Furry Socialist made a community post saying that he was privating some of his videos for housekeeping purposes. Specifically, this ended up being any video that mentioned Abcilikepie, ending the brief return of Abcilikepie on a very sour and anticlimactic note. Being the shameless grifter that he is, however, Mr. X kept the Thomas video up since it got 1,000 views, and he changed his profile picture to it as well. I have no idea what his true motives were for all of this, but if he did this in retaliation for me pressing him, then he's doing a terrible job at hiding that he, MilkySwelky, and Abcilikepie are all the same person. Why would they both decide to private their videos on the exact same day unless they're the same person? If anything, I think it honestly would have been less suspicious if they just continued ignoring me and kept doing their thing rather than lashing out like this. Either way, it's pretty much undeniable that these two and Abcilikepie are all the same person, but I think it would have sustained the illusion better if he just ignored me and passed me off as some random schizo. I think he had different motives for this rather than punishing me for pressing him too hard, and I'll elaborate more as we get through the sequence of events. If you remember what I said during the Rapture chapter, I was too stupid to realize that Abcilikepie was eventually going to delete all of his videos permanently, and I only archived one of them before it was too late. If that should tell you anything, it's that I've seen this before. I knew that he was eventually going to private or delete his new videos too, so I already had the amazing videos backed up. I had all MilkySwelky's videos backed up, and I had tons of screenshots of my evidence that all this happened. I immediately re-uploaded all MilkySwelky's videos along with the amazing video duology, and to my surprise, the Anti-Furry Socialist actually responded. Rather than being angry or blocking me or flagging the video quartering style, he simply commented, "Amazing video," and I said, "Thanks." There's definitely a lot of ways in which you can interpret this moment. Personally, I interpret this as Mr. X congratulating me for finally managing to outsmart him in this rematch. All these years after he completely mind-fucked me. After I announced that I was going to do this ABC I Like Pie documentary, and after he realized that I was really connecting the dots, I think he did this to test me rather than to punish me. He was testing me to see how dedicated I really was to ABC I Like Pie, how much I really understood how ABC I Like Pie acts and thinks, and if I didn't archive everything, how creative I could get when it comes to showing my evidence in the video. If he really was upset about me exposing his poorly kept secret and ruining the bit, then I think he definitely would have unsubscribed from me, blocked me, and stopped interacting with me in any way whatsoever. The last thing he would have done is go to the video where I expose him and leave a positive comment. Also, if he didn't want anyone to know he's ABC I Like Pie, then why would he have done the amazing video duology, or dropped even more incriminating footage on the MilkySwelky channel? I think he's definitely doing all of this not only to test me and see how I will respond, but also to build up some other big reveal later down the line. I might be wrong about his true intentions, but that's what makes him the most mysterious troll on the internet after all. Nothing that happened in the 2010s era of ABC I Like Pie even holds a candle to this. ABC I Like Pie was bizarre, but pretty explainable back then, as he was a fairly obvious troll. Nowadays, his moves are completely unhinged and unexplainable, and his behavior is totally erratic. Is all this some kind of elaborate trolling and gaslighting scheme? Is this all a ridiculously convoluted marketing stunt for a major ABC I Like Pie event later down the line? Is this all a puppet master power fantasy for him? Is he trying to teach me something as some sort of mentor or a potential guardian angel? Or is he doing all of this for fun without thinking twice about it? Who knows if we'll ever find out? And before you ask, yes, I did try changing the title and description of the video like he told me to, and it did not change his behavior at all. If anything, he doubled down on it, because the very next day, on March 4th, MilkySwelky deleted all of his community posts, deleted all of his tweets, and changed his Twitter profile to this, while also removing all of his followers and locking it. He even removed the Socialist account to make it even more convincing. In my opinion, this is easily some of the most damning evidence this guy is the creator of ABC I Like Pie, as this is literally the exact same thing that ABC I Like Pie did when he claimed his meanie mommy was making him leave. Both of them even had the exact same idea of changing their profile picture to a bunch of unrecognizable lines as well. As you'll see throughout the rest of the series, Anti-Furry Socialist and MilkySwelky's psychology and behavior patterns are pretty much identical to ABC I Like Pie. When both entities decided to quit temporarily, they'd go through a cycle of constantly privating and then unprivating their videos, while also changing their profile pictures and usernames constantly. Also, I don't understand why he would go through the effort of making this troll account and making over 100 posts only to delete everything the moment someone mentions ABC I Like Pie. Like, what the fuck is even the point of doing an ABC I Like Pie revival if no one's allowed to acknowledge him? That's like Chuck E. Cheese banning everyone from mentioning Five Nights at Freddy's. Which, no joke, that's a real thing. While Mr. X seemingly retired MilkySwelky, he still continued being active on the Socialist account, and even posted a video that got over 500 views. He was definitely trying to act like nothing ever happened and distract everyone from the incident yesterday by doubling down on his non-ABC I Like Pie activities. But after I continued to hound him and I wasn't entertained by the seething furry chuds, he finally said something that hinted at what's to come.
The Dank Messiah is like a comet. He is made manifest with great splendor, but his appearance is also very brief. He also does not reappear for a very long time as well.
Obviously, the Dank Messiah is an allegory for ABC I Like Pie. His appearance this year was very exciting, but only lasted a couple months before it was cut short. The same also applies to ABC I Like Pie's activity during the 2010s. He'd constantly take long breaks and even convinced everyone he was quitting forever until he came back with Bobby McBree. Although if this really is the end for MilkySwelky, he didn't last nearly as long as the other two. ABC I Like Pie lasted for almost 3 years before he was fully retired, while Bobby McBree lasted for roughly a year or two. Milky only made it to 2.5 months. What's reassuring, however, is that he hints that ABC I Like Pie is eventually going to return again. But that very long time could be anywhere from a couple months to several years, like when he disappeared at the end of the 2010s. The thought that we could be going into yet another 6-year-long dark age of absolutely nothing, like, honestly destroyed me. And it gave me like a really cold and desolate feeling that I hadn't felt in many years. This isn't related to ABC I Like Pie necessarily, but 2020 and 2021 were genuinely the lowest and most boring points of my life for a variety of reasons. I ended up resolving a lot of past demons in 2024, which led to 2025 and the first 2 months of 2026 being the time of my life that I was genuinely the most proud of by a landslide. So to have it all suddenly come crashing down back to square one after things were only getting better and better for me was a pretty depressing thing, to say the least. Also, in 5 years, Mr. X is probably going to be like fucking 30. Who knows if he'd even still be interested in this stuff by then. I know this video and the previous 3 can never really do justice to how much this truly means to me, but I've been watching this guy since I was 10 years old, and he was one of the funniest guys on YouTube for me back then. After he first deleted his channel, I've been waiting for the archives to return for 7 years. Imagine if one of your favorite TV shows growing up as a kid was completely deleted from all physical retailers and all digital platforms, and you had almost no copies of any of the episodes because you were the only fan of it in existence. By year 3, I pretty much accepted that the archives were never coming back, and by year 5, I was just fully ready to move on to newer and greater things. I knew that this was the biggest fuck up of my entire life, and I would do everything in my power to prevent it from ever happening again. In fact, this entire situation is what got me into archiving and lost media in the first place, which is what led to me meeting one of my close friends online, Mr. X. I can't believe I'm saying this, but thank you for deleting your channel. If you didn't do that, then archiving probably would not be one of my core personality traits and one of my biggest passions online. But when it came to ABC I Like Pie, I knew there was nothing I could do to reverse it, and I knew it would forever be my canon event. But when the Anti-Furry Socialist posted that first amazing video, it signaled to me that I would not have to let go, and these seemingly endless years of waiting would finally come to a close. When he created the MilkySwelky channel, I realized that I was going to get even more than I initially bargained for. Not only would we get the return of the ABC I Like Pie and Bobby McBree archives, but we'd also get an entire new wave of videos and a brand new troll account. I still had some hope that the ABC I Like Pie archives could get recovered in the future after he deleted his channel, but I never in a million years would have considered the idea of ABC I Like Pie coming back with a new account. This seemed like the absolute best case scenario possible, and Mr. X went above and beyond when it came to this reboot, living up to ABC I Like Pie's legacy. Then in only a couple days, I went from thinking that 2026 was going to be the best and most fulfilling year of my life, where I would finally get the thing that's been in the back of my mind and I've been searching tirelessly for over 7 goddamn years, to realizing that I was right back to where I was 5 years ago, and the cycle would likely go on forever. That was the worst feeling ever. But luckily I rose back up to make this video, so hopefully that causes some kind of chain reaction in the universe. Wink wink nudge nudge. Back to the story though. The Socialist continued being active until March 7th when he locked his X account and he went offline for 2 weeks. I was worried he was dead, but eventually he came back on March 21st as he unlocked his X account, continued posting the same stuff while refusing to acknowledge ABC I Like Pie anymore, and most interestingly, also changed MilkySwelky to this. After I sent him a follow request, he changed the description to this, perhaps to signal that I'm a so-called meanie weenie and he doesn't want me on the account. I happened to be up way earlier than I usually am when this happened, and seeing him change this stuff in real time was pretty awesome after the 3 weeks of silence. This isn't the first time, obviously, that he acted like he was leaving only to come back with a mystery user account either. In fact, this is the first time he's made a mystery user account in about 10 years, so I guess it's another thing for him to naturally call back to in this return. He also weirdly left his DMs open, but he never answered any of them. Maybe Mr. X used the account to send DMs to himself for whatever bizarre plan he has, but who knows if we'll ever find out. ABC I Like Pie has never been this weird and confusing in the history of ever. He also made 4 new posts on this account only to eventually delete them. I have no idea why he made these posts for literally nobody to see. But again, it's probably part of whatever whack job plan he has for ABC I Like Pie's return. Or should I say, the Dank Messiah. This arc would end up being a complete bust, as we had even more radio silence after this initial event, and nothing happened in the end for this shit. The Socialist, however, he weirdly started making a bunch of jokes about how furries eat bugs. That sound familiar? But yeah, I got so bored and frustrated that I just started asking the Socialist random questions about ABC I Like Pie with no expectation that he'd respond. To my surprise, he not only responded, but he also brought his Extreme Roblox Dude account for the first time in 3 weeks to back him up. I love how Extreme Roblox Dude always randomly shows up for no reason. He's like the Lord Voldemort of the troll sector. He's still not trying to hide who he really is, because Extreme Roblox Dude literally showed up not even 25 minutes after he posted his first reply. He's obviously running both the Socialist account and Extreme Roblox Dude. A few minutes later, Mr. X posted his first video on the Extreme Roblox Dude channel in over 3 weeks, where he finally showed what the hot yay image is after I questioned him. What an absolute bro. He filmed an entire tutorial video on how to use the inspect element tools on Google Chrome just for me. Roblox Dude not only seems very tech savvy, but he also values his anonymity, or however you pronounce it, just as much as the Tor browser using ABC I Like Pie, since he is using an incognito tab during the video, which that's even more evidence that they're the same person, and they literally act the exact same way. But as for the secret image itself, it turns out that ABC I Like Pie is truly pure of heart and mind, as there is no gooner content to be found. ABC I Like Pie, being the base king that he is, made this image to bait all the gooners and make them look like clownish fools for expecting to find hentai even on an account like ABC I Like Pie. This still doesn't explain ABC I Like Pie romantically shipping his furry enemies, writing cuck fan fiction about them, and even being friends with someone who has an uncircumcised penis as their profile picture on DeviantArt, but you can't win them all, I guess. This event injected some excitement into the ABC I Like Pie sector, but it wouldn't really go anywhere. Nothing interesting happened for a couple weeks, but on April 11th, Anti-Furry Socialist made another silent admission that he is ABC I Like Pie. I was so tired of the radio silence that I finally snapped, and I just outright called him ABC I Like Pie in his community post where he announced he was privating his videos. When he saw my comment, he immediately deleted the post. Very suspicious. A few days later, on April 16th, Mr. X was randomly up one night at 3 AM, and he randomly changed the mystery user X account back to MilkySwelky. He also accepted my follow request, which meant that whatever he was planning on doing with MilkySwelky, he wanted me to witness it. I was absolutely ecstatic when I saw this, and when I saw the Anti-Furry Socialist start following the account the very next afternoon, I was even more ready for a full Season 2 of MilkySwelky with even more videos. On April 18th, MilkySwelky finally confirmed the lore reason for why he took a month and a half off, and it's that he got grounded. Sound familiar? When he first said that he was privating the videos for punishment, I thought he meant he was privating them as a punishment for me calling Extreme Roblox Dude ABC I Like Pie. Not that he himself was getting punished and Meanie Mommy was making him private all the videos. Regardless, I'm sure the actual reason was because I pressed him too hard about being ABC I Like Pie, but I just think it's funny how I never even considered that MilkySwelky was trying to say that he was being punished rather than that he was punishing the audience. A few hours later, MilkySwelky doubled down on this new arc as Mrs. Bunsville, aka Meanie Mommy, took over the MilkySwelky X account and converted it into a Wine Mom account. Yeah, forget Skeptile, forget PewDiePie, forget even the horse fucker and lolicon enjoyer Vosh. The true villain in all of this is Charles Bunsville's witch of a mom. She once again punished her son for an imaginary reason because she is a bourgeoisie fascist. I have no idea what the point of this was, but the fact that Mr. X had me thinking we get an entire new wave of MilkySwelky videos only to continue this kabuki theater bullshit that he was doing with the mystery user account was pretty frustrating to say the least. It was not a fun time to be the only ABC I Like Pie fan in existence. I still had access to the account though, so it wasn't all bad, however. We had yet another week of just total radio silence as Mr. X continued being the greatest anti-furry, anti-weeb socialist in the world, while refusing to do anything ABC I Like Pie related, unfortunately. Well, that all changed on April 25th when I released my nearly 2-hour documentary on ABC I Like Pie's YouTube channel, and well, let's just say the rest is history.
Foxwater.
No longer will they be called the Abcilikepie archives. You will now refer to them as the first manifestation of the Dank Messiah. They will return.